Now, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's party says it has won a majority of seats in Sunday's snap election. The Election Commission's initial count showed Zelensky's Servant of the People party was ahead in around 120 of the 199 constituencies. That's well ahead of its closest rival. Well, for more on this, Peter Zalmayev joins us now live from Kiev. He is the director of the Eurasia Democracy Initiative. Thanks so much for speaking to us. You know, it was a major shakeup when Volodymyr Zelensky won the presidential election. Now his party looks like it has won a majority, or we think a majority, and I need you to clarify that for us, in Parliament. First of all, tell us what the numbers are, if you do know, and why is he so popular now nationwide?
Well, the votes have been counted. Only 50% of the votes have been counted. So there's still much that is unclear, but it is looking increasingly likely that Mr. Zelensky will win what is called a constitutional majority in the Rada. And if he does that, then he will have a very hefty, significant mandate to govern. Yeah, it's a paradoxical situation that a gentleman, an actor playing the role of a president becomes the president. It is probably unprecedented in the history of mankind. And the reason he is so popular is not so much that he has any political bona fides or any significant platform that he ran on, but rather a vote for him has been a vote against the old entrenched elites. Maybe there's a little bit of a postmodernist kind of desire on the part of the Ukrainian electorate to have a little bit of a circus in their politics. Other than Mr. Zelensky, we have four political parties that entered the parliament. They are the usual faces of Mr. Poroshenko, the former Prime Minister Tymoshenko, the rock star Mr. Vakarchuk. But what is really concerning is the second place. And the second place was won by Mr. Medvedchuk, who is leader of the so-called For Life Party, who is very closely associated with Vladimir Putin and is therefore seen as a fifth column, a pro-Russian fifth column in Ukraine's politics.
Interesting. So, I mean, regardless then, of the numbers at this point, we don't know, as you said, the official results. Do you think, with whatever makeup there is of this government to come, is Ukraine on its way to resolving the major issues here, not least, Russia's occupation of part of its territory?
Well, it will all depend on which conditions. The situation remains that it is Vladimir Putin, in fact, who continues to call the shots in Ukraine's eastern provinces, and it is really up to him to end the war. If Mr. Zelensky is willing to give Mr. Putin what he wants, that he may be successful. But then the question is open whether the rest of Ukraine, including its nationalist western parts, will go along with that position. So therefore, it is a precarious situation for Mr. Zelensky, where in Rada, in the parliament, he has two political opposition parties who are diametrically opposed to each other. You have Medvedchuk, the pro-Russian guy, on the one hand, and on the other hand, a pro-European Poroshenko. They will be watching for any misstep by the new president, and they're ready to snap at him. In fact, a lot of folks in Kiev are already saying that they're getting ready for early parliamentary elections in 2 years' time, because they just think that this parliament does not have legs to stand on.
Okay. Peter Zalmayev, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you for that from the Ukrainian capital, Kiev.